Welcome back. Let's be real. Most lifters look great from the front, but not from the back. So if you've got a great set of arms and a chest, but you turn around and you're missing that depth, width, and definition, then we are leaving half of the physique unfinished.
Stay tuned. We got 4 exercises to get that back thick and juicy. Here we go.
Thanks for sticking around. So today we're gonna build your back with 4 movements that actually build back thickness, not just make it sore. So let's go ahead and jump in. Most of you guys are not novice lifters, so you've actually been at this for a while. So if you're not seeing the progress that you want in your back, it's most likely because you're picking ineffective exercises. So this series that we launched really teaches you the 3 principles to hypertrophy. 1 is mechanical tension. So that means all of your exercises, you should be lifting heavy ass loads. Number 2 is working tension. You should be lifting those heavy loads over a great range of motion. And number 3,
stretch. Stretch your muscle while it's under load. Pick exercise that puts your muscle in a stretch position while it's under load.
So the exercises that we're gonna show you today meets this criteria.
All right, we're gonna start off with a pull down for our first exercise, right? Everybody tells you to row wide, pull down wide for a wide back, right? Check it out. Boom, just like so. This is a decent exercise, but we can do better, y'all. You got a wide grip right here. Watch my lat, ready? Whoa, when you bring it into here, did you see how much more stretch we got right there? Going from wide to close, you got so much more stretch on that lat. Now you're gonna grab it underhand, close grip. Boom, look at that stretch right there. Come down, squeeze your lats hard as you can. Keep them engaged as you let it go back up. Stretch, and then back down, just like so. So when you start your back exercise with a pull down, make sure you start with that close grip. Get that stretch on those lats.
So starting with these is great because it's a compound exercise and you're really able to load up the weight so you can drive a heavy amount of mechanical tension. Not only that, James showed you the difference in the lat position, so you really can move that heavy weight over a greater distance with this underhand grip. And then not to mention the stretch. You really want to make sure you stretch out those arms in the lengthened position. Don't go dead though, keep tension on those lats before pulling back. So it really meets all 3 principles to hypertrophy that we introduced to you guys. On this one, a really great cue is to focus on pulling down with the elbows versus the hands. A lot of people say that they just feel it in their biceps, and that's probably because you're focused on the grip as well as pulling with the biceps versus focus on pulling those elbows down and back. If you kind of switch the emphasis to that, you feel a lot more lat engagement.
All right, we showed you the demo, but we neglected the first principle, mechanical tension, right? Lifting heavy weights. In order to lift heavy weights on your back day, you're gonna need straps, y'all. Your fingers are weaker than your lats. You're gonna need straps, right? Check it out. You wanna do some weight? You wanna create some mechanical tension? You better get some straps, and you better load up the weight, and you better get some, y'all. This is serious weight right here, double pulley, extra weighted stack. If I can get down, if I can get it down. One more. Some serious weight, y'all.
Next up, we have the Hammer Strength Iso-Lateral row machine. This is a gold star when it comes to building that big, juicy back. primarily because you have the chest support. So if you think about a bent over barbell row compared to a chest supported row, you're gonna be able to lift a lot more load with that chest supported. Not only that, you're working over a really great range of motion. As your arms stretch out, you can really stretch those lats out before pulling back and squeezing. So you've got heavy mechanical tension, you've got a really great working tension, and you're stretched under load, making this a really great exercise. So James is doing a single arm version here. You can do both arms at the same time or single arm. I do like single arm. I feel like it allows you to really focus on that mind muscle connection. So you can get that deep stretch across those fibers. You can even get a little deeper of a stretch single arm because you're able to really wrap the chest around that bench.
All right, y'all. So you see the low isolateral row and you got the other isolateral row here. If you want to hit your lats, I'm going to recommend this one here. This one, you can see the angle's a little different. You're going to get a lot more upper back here as opposed to lower lats. So to hit the lower lats, go ahead and hit the Iso-Lateral low row, baby. Camille's 100% right. This beats the barbell row because you got support here, right? But you want to start with your big heavy moves. This is it, baby. Load up the weight. You can do so much weight on this machine. Just check your form. Form is first. Make sure your form's on. Load up the weight and get your rows on. Nice and supported. No lower back. Just
we started with the underhand lat pull downs. We then did the hammer strength iso-lateral rows, and now we're moving to pull-ups. So a lot of people probably put pull-ups higher in the workout, but when you think about most lifters, they probably can bang out 20 plus on the pull-ups. So you really want to make sure that your back's pretty fatigued before you work this into the workout.
Yeah, remember y'all, this is a body weight exercise. So to make it effective, you're gonna have to add weight to yourself, right? If you can do 11 reps, it's too light. And I mean, give it all you got, you get 11. It's too light. You're gonna have to add weight to your body to make it effective.
A few cues for you is to think about pulling the elbows to the ribs, not the chin to the bar. This allows you to really work the back. Not only that, we want that deep stretch, right? The third principle to hypertrophy. So make sure you come to a dead hang at the bottom, but at the same time, don't unload your weight onto your joints. Keep tension on those lats.
Gotta add the weight to your body to make this an effective exercise, y'all.
It might take a while to work up to doing these weighted, and it's also can be a little cumbersome with the weight belt, so be patient.
Another way to add weight to your body is to grab a dumbbell with your feet. As you can see, Camille's doing her pull-ups, adding weight with the dumbbell to her feet. Check it out. Very nice.
I used to do pull downs and pull ups all the time, but I always felt my arms. It wasn't until I really tried to focus on the mind muscle connection and really feel the lats working that things changed for me. If you look at early photos of myself, like 10 years back, I had a pretty flat back. It wasn't until I started rethinking and reimagining how I did these lifts that I really put on that 3D muscle that people are looking for.
Very good point. You know, many people have a tough time getting that mind and muscle connection to that lat. Even myself, first couple years, like Camille said, all I'm feeling is my biceps working. Of course, you got to develop a little bit of lats first. But the mind and muscle connection, once you get that and once you work it, you're going to engage your lats first and then keep them engaged throughout the whole exercise. That's the whole key. That's what's going to make your back grow as opposed to just yanking it down with your arms, right?
So if your arms are growing but your back isn't, you might need to lighten it up and lift with more intention. All right, are you ready for the fourth and final exercise? The fourth exercise we have is a seated cable row. I don't think anyone's gonna argue this. Even the top bodybuilders would agree with this, whether it's Jay Cutler, Mountain Dog. It's one of the best just for the amount of stretch you can get on the lats, the load, all of it. All right, so James is gonna do a few for us. One of the reasons this is last is just because it does use a little bit of core stability in there. So you wanna make sure your back's pretty fatigued so you're not having to lift as heavy as a load. But in terms of cues on this one, you really wanna focus on letting those shoulder blades protract So see how James is a little rounded there? And then he's gonna pull them back until they almost meet. This is ensuring that he's building that thick, juicy back that he talked about in the beginning. And then another thing with this, you really want to use a close grip on it. It allows you to really stretch out those lats. So same type of principle as the lat pull down that we started with. That hand position does matter.
Yeah, I used to sit straight up and just do these like this. I'm missing the stretch part, right? I watched Arnold do it. He's stretching way out here, and I said, man, he's doing it wrong. No, he wasn't doing it wrong. He was doing it right. I was doing it wrong. So I tried it with the stretch, and what a difference does that make? Holy smokes.
One of the things I love about this, it's a compound, but you have isolation-like control. So you want to make sure you're using that control and not momentum. Show them what it would look like if you used a bunch of momentum. Yeah, this is actually funny. There's a video of the mountain dog doing this, and he's like, hey, you get all the way to like right here before there's any tension on your back. So if you're doing them that way, you have to lighten it and you have to use control. Like think about all three portions of the rep and really controlling the eccentric.
And again, get that mind of muscle on the lats, and you will slow it down and do it right.
Now I'll do these different ways. At times I will do a single underhand row. One of the reasons I like doing it singled arm is because at some gyms I can actually stack it. So even here, like I can do the entire weight stack. So if that's the case, you might want a single arm. You would either just use the V-bar or just grab a D ring handle. You can use some slightly different attachments, but again, I wouldn't go too wide. I would keep it pretty close. But wait, there's a bonus. We have to have that back day finisher. So we're gonna do a straight arm pull down, just like this. Most people actually have this as one of their core exercises, and I think that would be a mistake. So if you think about the amount of load you can move with the straight arm pull down versus the lat pull downs, you can do significantly more on the lat pull downs. And one of the reasons, just the core stability. You can't counter this weight. You're not hooked and latched in there like the lat pull down. So save this one for last. Those lats are already blasted, and go ahead and hit a drop set on this. So do 6 to 10 or wherever failure is, lighten the weight and keep going. And you are gonna get one of those wicked back pumps to finish your back day.
Yeah, the key to this one is stretch here and really squeeze the lats as hard as you can. When you get down to here, squeeze the lats, or you're just wasting that range of motion, man.
Now, if you are lucky enough to have one of those old school Nautilus pullover machines and you actually fit in it, I would do that versus this cable version, but this is a really great back day finisher. Thanks for staying tuned all the way to the end. Let's go ahead and recap this video. So we started by saying if you really want to grow that thick, juicy back, you need to make sure you're picking exercises that meet the 3 principles to hypertrophy. So in this video, we showed you 4 exercises that are a gold star when it comes to building back mass. We started first and foremost with the underhand lat pull downs. This was a great exercise to really apply that stretch to those lats, and it's much superior than the overhand wide grip pull down. So if you really want those nice V'd lats, you gotta make sure you're working them in that stretched position and lifting heavy weight.
100%. Number one, mechanical tension. Lift heavy weight. You can also lift heavier biomechanically this way than you can this way. So it's a great starter. Hits all 3 of the principles, blows your lats up.
And then we moved on to the hammer strength Iso-Lateral row. This is the king of back day. It is a really great horizontal compound lift. And when you compare it to like a bent over barbell row, think of how much more controlled it is. You're not relying on your core strength and being bent over. You're not relying on momentum. You've got your chest supported, and you can just really focus on back growth.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. Set that machine up correctly, lock it in, and you're 100% working that back, nothing else.
From there, we're pretty fatigued already as we moved into the pull-ups. And remember, you've got to progressive overload this. So if you can bang out 20, which I'm sure you can, go ahead and start adding weight to yourself.
I don't know about that. 20 pull-ups is an awful lot. You're a beast if you can do that. And remember, this is the third exercise, so you are fatigued. So don't feel bad if you don't have to add weight to your body. You are going to get stronger, and eventually you will have to. But if you're beginning, you're starting out, and you can't get 10 reps yet, don't worry about adding weight to yourself.
And then from there, we finished with the seated cable row. We put this last because we really want your back to be fatigued, because most people can rack the entire stack when they do this. Not only that, it does use some core stability, so it makes it a little less practical exercise for back growth and trying to overload.
Yeah, it's a great back finisher. Hit those lats, squeeze them, stretch them. 100% great finisher for your back workout.
And remember that tip, if you can do a bunch of these and you can rack the whole stack, try single armed. Yeah. And then in terms of a finisher, this is where we would add the straight bar lat pull down. It's a really great finisher. So go ahead, get that wicked back pump and do a drop set.
Listen, y'all, between Camille and I, we got over 30 years experience training people. What comes up weak over and over and over is back. Back muscles are underdeveloped. They're weak. They're not big. They're not thick. They're not juicy, right? You got to do the right exercises and do the right thing to get that back to grow. 30 years experience. We just told you how to do it. We fixed so many over the years. Continue to do it.
Yeah, the fix is almost never more volume. It's always in the execution. If you've enjoyed today's video, it's actually one of several in a series, all targeted to showing you the most effective exercises to grow each muscle group. So go back and check out that playlist. And remember, James and I go live every Sunday at 12 Eastern. It's your opportunity to interact with us in real time and get any questions answered. All right, y'all, drop us a comment in the video if you liked it, and make sure you hit that like and subscribe.